had an emergency C-section, and as a first-time mom, I feel I was not properly prepared for what it entailed. I will admit I was very blind to C-section awareness while I was preparing for birth. It was my biggest fear. It was something I knew. I was like, I'm not having a C-section. I do not want one. It is something I was terrified of. So I refused to do any research on it on my own or even prepare for it if that was the case that ended up happening. But I do think when you're doing prenatal classes, it is something that they should maybe talk about. The classes my husband and I took talked about vaginal birth and everything that you experience that way through contractions and epidurals, the risks that can come with a vaginal birth, the tools they may use to help with vaginal birth, such as forceps and stuff like that. But I don't recall anything about a C-section and what would happen if that ends up being the case, or if that was something you had planned. A disclaimer, I didn't have a planned C-section, so maybe it's different and they do tell you what to prepare for, but I felt these prenatal classes did not prepare me for it at all. They never talked about the recovery of a C-section and what that looks like for breastfeeding, for the bonding with your baby and stuff like that. So my advice to a first-time mom, or any mom really that's pregnant, would be to even just do a bit of research on C-sections. And I know how terrifying it can be as someone who is terrified of a C-section. But I think if I had had more knowledge of what to expect going into it and the recovery process, it wouldn't have been as terrifying for me.